The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is losing a record number of its membership.
I can't have a temple recommend. But the wedding is coming up. The announcements have been sent out. My dress is paid for.
Oh, Kim, I think it would be a great mistake to go to the temple without resolving this problem.
What can I say to Matt? How can I tell my parents?
Tell them that you and I and the Lord need a little more time to work this out.
Travis Wingate, so Mormons set bad example. Forcing converts. Something like that. We'll see. So, yeah, when you know the truth, when you've witnessed something firsthand, or at least live, a direct live feed from a camera, that's firsthand. That's part of the technology that we have today, is that we're able to see events live anywhere around the world. And because of that, we're able to see as first-hand witnesses of certain events that occur in the news. When the news does a later show and takes segments out, it's no longer first-hand news, it's now second-hand news. It's now history. Instead, you still see people trying to claim, oh, it's breaking news. 3 hours ago, you said it was breaking news. But, yeah, when I have witnessed the scenes from Trump's rallies live, when I have witnessed the insurrection on the 6th, I can call it insurrection, because I witnessed it. I saw it live, being covered. And so to hear the lawyers for the defense now, oh dear God, he just starts off and lies. I mean, are lawyers allowed to lie? Not in a court of law. I guess they can do it in Congress, in the Senate. That's why it's just so disgusting. I don't want to listen to lies. But that's what people do when they want to brainwash you. They hold you hostage and spew lie after lie after lie until you eventually start parroting the lie and spreading the lie to others. That's Fox News. When Sinclair pulled their stunt, where they had all their anchors reading verbatim a scripted, we do not. Oh God. What a humiliating embarrassment. And so yes, you get those guys that have the awesome technology to do multiple screens on the channel, showing all the anchors as it grows and expands. We do not. Yeah, if you got everybody reading it, then it's cause for question. But that's how you can tell if you're brainwashed. You start parroting somebody else's words rather than having researched and found out the truth for yourself or witnessed firsthand so that you can put it in your own words. And so yeah, these past 4 years I've seen comment after comment quoting Trump rather than putting it in their own words. And so I occasionally would respond if it weren't abusive, harassing. and just throw it back at them. Okay, so then if Trump has created the greatest economy in the world, what has he done for you? How has your life improved under Trump? Do you have a bigger paycheck? Did you get a bigger tax return? What has he done for you? Because I can tell you, as a first-hand witness, because it's me, he has done jag diddly bleepity bleep bleep for me. He's made my life worse. So, but yeah, this is the war we're in, where we have Russia that is using certain outlets of misinformation and disinformation. Not just the president, not just the GOP, not just Fox News. You know, Russia, like I've been telling you, they use multiple avenues to attack. They don't just choose one. You know, if you're doing an all-out war, you need all hands on deck. So, when I did the ex-Mormon grooming scandal, I was looking for a thumbnail to use for the picture, for the video. And all of the pictures that I found with a Mormon bishop's interview involve the person being interviewed smiling and happy, which does serve the point. Mormons are being groomed. But I wanted one that had the person going to see the bishop, you know, in tears, in horror. Oh no, I've committed sin. I'm going to burn in hell. Oh dear God, please, Bishop, save me. You know, something like that. There's nothing. They're all happy that they've committed sin. And so I had to resort to the good old vintage classic Mormon video about repentance. As you have this sweet, attractive, for my standards, as yeah, but when I first saw the video, I saw her and I was going, oh wow, she's beautiful, oh hot, wow. And, you know, you can't really say hot as a Mormon because, you know, that's evil. But you keep all the thoughts in your head because you don't want to let them out. You don't want your parents to know that you think so of the woman. But I think we saw this in like seminary, early morning seminary. And so I'm watching it and I'm going, wow, she's attractive. This is kind of cool, encouraging us to get sealed in the temples. Then she's in the bishop's interview, which is where the scene comes from, and the bishop gets to the final question: is there anything in your life that you have not disclosed to proper authorities that you wish to do so now? Well, when a bishop asks you if there's anything in your life that you have not confessed, any sin that you have not confessed and wish to do so now, you say no. I'm good. Thank you for the recommend. See ya. They are designed that way. You can just outright lie. But the question then becomes, well, what then is a sin worthy of confessing to? Is violating the word of wisdom by drinking Mountain Dew? It does have a question there. Do you keep the word of wisdom? Most people don't realize that the word of wisdom also includes a no fatty I had the word and I blew it. A contract. Because there's blessings where you can eat and not be, or not eat, run and not be weary, walk and not faint, which comes from the second token of the Melchizedek priesthood, the patriarchal grip or sure sign of the nail, when you're at the veil. This is the sign, or this is the token, and that's where they got it from. But you know, what do you determine as a sin? You know, chastity. No sexual relations except with your husband or wife to whom you are legally and lawfully wedded. And it's been changed now to those whom you are legally and lawfully wedded according to his law, which we all know is section 132, about 10 virgins. And so, are we supposed to confess that I can't find a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth virgin to marry? Are we supposed to confess that to our bishops? And what the church has turned into is that the minor sin, well, no, never mind. I just had flashbacks of people confessing over the fast and testimony meeting pulpit some pretty serious sins that they were confessing to. Oh dear God. And yeah, we're talking prostitution. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that's testimony meetings are now our AA confessional meeting. I'm Travis, and I'm a Mormon, and I'm a slut whore, a man whore. I'm a serial murderer. Oh dear God. And I remember now when I went through the handbook, the new revised one under Nelson, as he continually revises it over and over again now that he's made it public. And the list of things that the church frowns on, but allow members to still be members in good standing. You can join Satan's church and still be a member in good standing. I couldn't believe it. Oh dear God. Maybe that's why they haven't excommunicated me for saying that Joseph Smith is a translator. That's blasphemy in the church. And so, yes, when the bishop asks you, just say, nope, I'm good. Because, I mean, there is no clear-cut law now. Everything's good. And so only if you feel guilty about something, then you tell the bishop, and then he punishes you. Oh, okay, well, we'll keep you from getting a temple recommend, and you won't get married. You'll have to wait a year. and you'll have to, not take the sacrament for a period of time, and you'll have to periodically check in with me to make sure you're okay, as I'm now your AA big buddy or whatever it is. But just a nightmare in the church. And so, yeah, it causes Mormons to have to say, nope, I'm good. Because why would we allow ourselves to be punished for something that we don't even know if it is or isn't yet? Why would you even ask? Well, is what I did a sin? Oh, it's better to ask forgiveness than to ask permission, right? That's a doctrine in the church. It's in the underground Mormonism. And so, yeah, as a little boy watching this for the first time, most likely in seminary, and she does confess to something, I don't think they actually tell us. So I have no idea what she did. that was so evil that she can't get sealed to her husband, who's a valiant returned missionary, good guy, and we're finding out that the woman's a scarlet letter? or maybe she drank Mountain Dew? Who knows? But I remember as a kid going, oh, okay, well, I'm not attracted to her anymore. That's what the church does to us. It's horrifying. You know, she's just an actress. I'm sure she's a Molly Mormon. But, I mean, we have Relief Society who have the fallback chewing gum parable for women. Oh, if you've been raped, you're like, use chewing gum. and you have to get a whole new stick of gum before you can be pure and holy again. Because otherwise, you know, once you've done it, you just never can, because you can't be in a whole new piece of chewing gum. Literally, they're telling this to women. And see, the men, no, we get the, oh, you're like a bundle of sticks, and when you tie them together, you are strong. But if you leave the bundle of sticks, you are weak, and you fall away. If you don't know what the symbol of fascism is, these are the teachings of Mormonism. Dear God. And so how do we get fooled? You know, we're born and raised into it. That's how. You know, as we watch Mike Lee, you know, like I said, how can he watch what he himself was there live experiencing? You know, they wouldn't have cared. They wouldn't have said, oh, Mike Lee, you're one of us. Cool. You know, Mike Lee would have had to have said, hey guys, I'm one of you. Come on, let's murder everybody. That's the only way Mike Lee would have saved himself if they had kept going. And I'm pretty sure Mike Lee would. He's a descendant of John D. Lee, the infamous Mormon Mountain Meadows Massacre assassin. He comes from a bloodthirsty line of ancestors. John D. Lee was part of the cause of the wars in Illinois and Missouri, and as he was part of the secret combination to overthrow the church. And so, like his ancestor, we have Senator Mike Lee trying to overthrow America to one-up his ancestor. His ancestor only overthrew the church. I'm going to overthrow America. And yet Mormons, they're glad. They're cheering Mike Lee on by putting thumbs down on my videos. That's what it means. That Mormons are happy that Mike Lee is overthrowing America. Mormons, therefore, hate Mitt Romney. However, I did see when Mitt Romney came in today, and he had to take off his jacket and get scanned for weapons. One, I thought it was the guard that was checking him in, and another woman in blonde hair was there. They were just chatting with him and talking him up, whereas everybody else was just moving on through. And I'm going, oh, yep, they're Mormon. But, I mean, Mitt Romney, you know, we saw the video. Mitt Romney had to run for his life from the guard who saved them. He was running for his life. He had distracted the mob, took them down the wrong hallway, but then had to run for his life and met Mitt and one other guy and tagged Mitt, "Follow me, run for your life." And so yeah, Mitt, he's not descended from John D. Lee, a murderer of little children and women. As you can see, Lee has no problem with murdering women and children, just like his ancestor. This is what they do when they make laws that punish women and children. You know, Trump's southern border policy, separated families, tortured, murdered, babies in cages. Babies, not just the children in cages, babies in cages, separated from their nursing mothers. But hey, you know, you're Mormon, you're okay with that because they're illegal. Screw innocent until proven guilty, right? Unless it's you. And then you cry and complain, "I'm innocent until proven guilty. Where's my lawyer?" Yeah. That's also what's disgusting in this trial. The GOP want everybody to just forget and move on. Let everybody get away with it. But that's the whole point. You let them get away with it, they come back stronger. Something worse is on the horizon. And Mike Lee is doing all he can to make sure that that something worse is going to happen as planned. That's the warning in the Book of Mormon. But the origin story of Mormonism, it's just, Mormons literally are anti-Mormon, not just religious bigots. Because there's the thumbs down. Mormons don't care about the truth. They want to be told whatever they're told. And as I commented with another person who's been commenting, it does seem to be that because Mormons are raised to believe, not know, because we don't see Nelson or any of the presidents of the church actually speaking with Jesus. We just assume they do. And that therefore, well, it's Jesus, he's God, we don't want to offend God. So whatever the presidents say goes. And we don't care about anything else because we assume truth that we have no evidence for. You know, maybe this little slut whore is not a slut whore, she's just a smoker or a drinker. Maybe she didn't pay a full tithe. The protection racket of Mormonism. You know, this is what happens, women. When you dash our fantasies, we get very upset. But yeah, I remember The Boy Who Could Fly. You guys remember that movie? Again, a hot chick. And a boy who's has magical flying powers. And so he's kind of shy. It's sort of like he's autistic, but with flying powers rather than math abilities, as in I can't remember the movie, but again, I'm attracted as a child to these movie stars, and want them to be clean and pure, undefiled, and then a woman in the movie ends up kissing the guy, and I'm going, oh crap, she's defiled. Or a more conflicted instance where she is seen in her underwear or a swimsuit, which you love to hate in those situations as a guy. I know exactly the hatred of Mormons because I was raised to be a hater myself. And but I realized early on that it can't be that way. That can't be the right way. I must be getting it wrong somehow. And I don't think the hardcore Mormons that are still in Mormonism are getting it. They've never made that transition to say, no, wait a minute, no, something's wrong here. I need to find out what it is that's wrong, what the actual truth is. Rather than just saying, oh, yeah, I smoked cigarettes and my dad caught me and I was forced to go have a bishop's interview and the bishop disfellowshipped me and I couldn't partake of the sacrament and I had to go through a Smokers Anonymous program or, stuff like that. And so then you get up and bear your testimony. I know this church is true. I know that the Book of Mormon is the Word of God, translated correctly. I know that Joseph Smith is a true prophet, and that Russell M. Nelson is a true prophet, and that smoking is bad in the name of Jesus Christ. Dear God, you don't know anything about except that you got caught smoking. You hadn't done it long enough to get lung cancer, so you can't say that it is something that is good not to do because of the word of wisdom. But there are people whose DNA can handle smoking. Just look at God himself. George Burns, is it? Oh God, book 1, 2, 3, or whatever the titles of those movies were. Yeah, he's a big time smoker. Lived to be 300 or so. And so it's those kind of situations where you think, oh, okay, well maybe smoking isn't against the word of wisdom or whatever. But yeah, there's those of us who do have breathing problems. But when you realize that Joseph Smith had no intention of making it a commandment for a dietary law. Alrighty. And I just wanted to share with you why I chose a scene from the show rather than finding a thumbnail that I can't find. The church covers up the reality of sin and the trauma and horror of committing sin. They make it seem like it's a great thing to go to the bishop and confess. Oh yeah, Bishop, I went to Vegas and there were these prostitutes and I was so upset of their evil, wicked ways and I chopped off their heads and wore their flesh like Hannibal Lecter. If you're a bishop in that situation, you don't call the hotline for the church. You get onto the phone to the cops, 911. Dear God. But yeah, you've got bishops. The one from down south of Utah who decided to do a little prostitution ring, saying he's helping the girls. Yay! Church is so true. But yeah, the church purposely sets it up for failure, so that the church can claim that they are not responsible when an MTC president rapes a sister missionary at the MTC. If you heard about that one. Those things get swept under the rug, and when it does come out in full view of the national news, the church claims that they're not responsible and they put out a statement saying we condone any acts of sexual violence and blah blah blah. But people get to still sue the church, and so it's just if somebody is worshiping Satan, you kick them out. It's not hard. But nope, church handbook tells the bishops and stake presidents, it's okay. We don't care. Let them. As long as they're paying their tithe, we'll take anybody's money.